Would you dare spend the night in a room where guests claim to have seen a ghost standing in the doorway just silently watching? There are hotels that go far beyond invented stories, places where security cameras have already captured sightings. Objects move on their own. Voices come out of nowhere and employees refuse to enter certain rooms, even during the day. These are not just isolated reports. They are real places, with records of paranormal phenomena that leave anyone's nerves on edge. Some guests barely make it through the first night. Others leave traumatized, vowing never to return. There are those who say that these hotels are portals between our world and something that cannot be explained. Are these entities trapped in these places, or do they choose who they will haunt? One thing is certain. The fear in these places is so real that even the most skeptical are left shaken. Today, we will explore the hotels most haunted in the world, where sleeping is a real challenge, and waking up may not be guaranteed. And believe me, the last one on the list keeps a secret so disturbing that to this day the room remains closed, for good reason. Before I continue, let me tell you something. The last hotel on this list has such a disturbing history that to this day some guests have disappeared from the records. Yes, they are gone. But what happened to them? We will only reveal this at the end of the video. Now answer me. Do you really want to know what's behind these stories? Then leave a like and subscribe to the channel now, because what comes next will give you goosebumps. Here, you will discover the world's darkest secrets, the mysteries that no one has the courage to tell, and some that you might rather never have discovered. But be careful. The more you watch, the stranger these stories get, and the harder it's going to be to sleep tonight. Are you ready? So hold on tight, because what these hotels hide goes far beyond noises in the dark. Hotels have always been places of passage where people come and go every day. Stories intersect, lives touch for a brief moment. But what about when does anyone ever leave? What if the room you sleep in tonight is the same one where someone lived their last moments in agony? Some of these hotels carry invisible brands, echoes of tragedies, crimes, and deaths never explained. They say that the walls hold memories, that certain corridors seem to observe whoever passes by. Were these manifestations just impressions from the past, or would they be trapped spirits, souls who have not found peace? There are those who believe that these environments absorb suffering, creating true portals between our world and what lies beyond. And with each new guest that enters, something awakens and observes. Do you believe that ghosts can really get trapped in places like this? Among so many hotels in the world, few carry the fame and fear that these four establishments arouse. These are not just old stories or urban legends. The reports are current, real, and constant. Ordinary people like you and me entered these places looking for a peaceful night and left marked by something that science still cannot explain. Get ready, because from now on, you will discover haunted hotels where no one can sleep. We start with what has become one of the most sinister hotels on the planet, the Hotel Cecil in Los Angeles. This place carries an energy so dense, so heavy, that it has attracted tragedies over the decades. Suicides, murders, disappearances, including cases linked to notorious criminals who lived there temporarily, such as Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. But the episode that really shocked the world was that of young Elisa Lam. In 2013, Elisa was filmed by the hotel's elevator security cameras. The images show her acting extremely strangely, pressing random buttons, looking scared at the corridor, gesturing as if she were talking to something invisible. Shortly afterwards, his body was found in the water tank on the hotel's roof. Under inexplicable circumstances, the access doors were locked, the alarm did not go off, and the reservoir lid was too heavy to be handled by one person. How did she get there? Nobody knows. But the reports didn't stop there. Guests report hearing whispers out of nowhere, footsteps in the hallways when no one is around, doors that open by themselves in the middle of the night. Some say they feel like they are being watched all the time. And the strangest thing, employees avoid certain floors of the hotel, especially the 4th floor. Is someone or something still walking around at night, trapped between this world and the next? From the urban heat of Los Angeles, we cross the borders to Canada, in the Rocky Mountains, where a hotel worthy of a fairy tale, or rather, a nightmare. The Banff Springs Hotel, also known as Canada's Haunted Castle. Built in 1888, the place is an icon of luxury, but also of paranormal activity. Among the countless stories, the best known is that of the Ghost Bride. Legend has it that during the 1920s, a young bride fell to her death from the hotel's marble staircase on her wedding day. Since then, she has been seen by many guests, always coming down the stairs in her flowing white dress. Some say they hear the soft footsteps of heels. Others swear they felt a cold presence touching their shoulders as they climbed the steps. But she is not alone. Another well-known spirit of Banff Springs is the ghost bellhop. Yes, an employee who, they say, never left work. He appears dressed in his old uniform, helps guests with their luggage, and then disappears. Several visitors describe in detail the face of the man who served them. But when they look at reception, no one knows who he is. And then comes the question, why are there so many reports of chills in exactly the same corridor on the same floor? What's special, or damned, about that part of the hotel? We now head to Europe in an even older building. Dragsholm Slot in Denmark is a medieval castle turned into a hotel and considered one of the most haunted in Europe. And the reason? Reports indicate that more than 100 ghosts roam its corridors. We're not talking about fleeting noises or shadows. They are complete appearances with well-defined and scary stories. Among the most famous ghosts is the White Lady, a young noblewoman who was reportedly imprisoned and left to die within the castle walls for falling in love with someone her family did not approve of. Years later, when renovating one of the castle's wings, the bones of a woman were found inside a wall. Coincidence? Employees don't think so. Another well-known spirit is that of a prisoner who still moans through the old cells. Visitors report hearing chains dragging in the middle of the night, heavy footsteps and iron doors slamming shut. Imagine trying to sleep with sounds like that coming from the hallway next to your room. Could you? There are those who say that even after centuries, the echoes of torture still remain alive inside. And finally, we crossed the English Channel and arrived in London, where the Langham Hotel is located, one of the oldest and most elegant in England, frequented by kings, politicians, writers, and ghosts. The list of supernatural events recorded at this hotel is so long that the team has already cataloged the main phenomena. One of them takes place in room 333, considered the most active in the building. In this room, guests report seeing a man wearing Victorian clothes, floating next to the bed or staring at the sleeper. Others say they see unfamiliar faces reflected in mirrors, even when they are alone. But the most disturbing detail is that before these phenomena happen, the clocks always stop at the same time, 3:07 a.m. After that, the whispers, chills, sleep paralysis, and in some cases, complete loss of memory of the following hours begin. There are even stories of a doctor who murdered his wife there during their honeymoon and whose presence continues to be felt there. Employees report that the lights in that room turn on by themselves, the temperature drops suddenly, and the phone rings, but when they answer, only breathing is heard. It is as if time is suspended in certain parts of the hotel, as if something is waiting, trapped between the past and the present. These hotels are not just tourist attractions. They are living portals of stories that refuse to end. These are places where fear is not a possibility. It is a constant. And each room holds not just memories, but presences that defy logic. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these hotels would you never have the courage to sleep in? There is something even more frightening than isolated apparitions or ancient reports. Something that connects all these hotels as a dark and disturbing pattern. Specific rooms where no one can stay all night. That's right. In each of these places there is always a number, a floor, a door behind which the phenomena are so intense, so oppressive, that guests abandon their reservations in the middle of the night. Desperate. Some leave in silence, pale and breathless. Others tell stories of voices calling them by name, shadows approaching their bed, invisible hands touching them in their sleep. There are also reports from employees, people who work in these places every day and yet refuse to enter certain rooms. Many ask for sector transfer. Some quit their jobs after witnessing a figure standing at the end of the hallway, or seeing an elevator run alone repeatedly at 3 in the morning. How to explain this? Was it just a coincidence? Or are these rooms real portals? True energetic prisons where trapped souls relive their last moments night after night? These hotels continue to receive guests every day. They are there, functioning like any other common place, with reception, room service, online reservations, but with a frightening difference. In each of them, there is a room where something invisible seems to be watching, where the air is heavy, where the silence carries echoes of the past. And the scariest thing is knowing that when you book a room today, you may, without knowing it, be choosing exactly the one where no one can stand to spend the entire night. Would you have the courage to turn off the light, close your eyes, and simply try to sleep, even if you hear whispers coming from the closet, footsteps in the hallway, or breathing that isn't yours? These places are still standing, open to the public, but would you sleep peacefully in them? If you've come this far, it's because you felt the shivers, and you still want to know more. So don't waste time. Subscribe to the channel now, because every week we take you to the darkest, most mysterious and disturbing places in the world. There are still many more stories than no one had the courage to tell, until now. And if this video kept you entertained, until the end, leave a like, because it shows me that you enjoy this type of content and helps me to continue bringing you new scary cases. And don't leave there, because the next video is already waiting for you. Click on the screen and come and discover the most forbidden places on the planet, where those who enter don't always return. See you there.